TV. This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, up on TSN 5, up on YouTube Live. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan.
What's going on today?
What's going on?
Riddle me this, okay? Riddle me this.
Okay.
Yes.
I paved a way for you and the other stooge the whole weekend, and I just want an explanation on one little item, possibly two. You called me Steve Kerr in the group chat? What? How am I Steve Kerr?
Because the 98 Bulls, I'm Jordan, Al's brother's Pippen, you're Steve Kerr. You're an important piece. We need you, man. We need you. Set picks, take a couple of big shots.
So I lay out the whole weekend, and I'm Steve Kerr.
Well,
and here is the secondary part that I'd like a little explanation. Later on in the text, I became Antonio Brown.
Yeah, because I am getting more and more concerned that you are here to basically destroy the locker room and the culture. Because
like a plant, eh?
Noodles, you're on the group chat.
I'm on the group chat.
Yeah, listen, the Bills, they picked, right? To be clear, Luke and Noodles are perfect. They're 5-0. Ever since they got rid of somebody, and I don't know who that is, I'm not going to name them. Ever since they got rid of some guy, they're seeing the board 20/20 vision, right? They're 5-0. They have picked beautifully. We are 3-2. The Bears have jammed us twice on the biggest, most miraculous backdoor covers in the history of sports gambling. So we got jammed twice by the Bears.
Yeah.
The other three picks we've nailed. So, yes, you were on the Seahawks, and you were right. You called it. Full disclosure, I got to own that. As the president of football ops, as the Michael Jordan of the 98 Bears or Bulls, I got to step up and say, you were right. You called that. The Bills-Broncos game was right to say, you guys pick it, because it was going to be tight, which it was.
Yeah.
A coin flip. I like the Bills. I was wrong. You like the Broncos. You were right. The Pats, we were both on, and we got that. I don't remember you saying you thought the Bears were going to backdoor cover. I don't recall that being a part of the chat.
My last comment about the Bears was, you never know. It just me one.
It might be. But
I
here's the Antonio Brown. On Saturday night, right, I'm in Cambridge, Ontario, watching the game with a bunch of the parents. We're all having a blast. And I'm getting texts saying, I'm out, I'm done, take me back. I want, like,
take me back was
taking your gear off and leaving during the game.
No.
It's the divisional round.
No.
It's 7-3. Yes, we're in a hole. We're not done yet. We got a big weekend next week in the Super Bowl. There's 14 points on the line. We are still fine. We'll be okay. Credit to them. They've been picking well. We're still in a very good position. Okay? It's fine. And
I just found the Steve Kerr. I was like, I am like a god right now. And then he's like, this guy's Steve Kerr.
Okay, well, who do you want to be on that team? Do you think you're Jordan? Jordan Pippen?
Al's brother is Steve Kerr, unfortunately, because you know what he does, and it's a fault to him. He has no sack. He has none. He doesn't. Because when he has a recommendation, you just go, nah, I don't like that. And then he just cowers, and he's like, nah, I guess we're not going with it. When he's got tremendous information with gut instinct, he has to roll with it, and you can't be Fergler. You have to be able to just kind of let him have some responsibility.
All right.
You're Fergie right now.
Well, we'll figure out this weekend.
Tremendous information, though. That's the question.
He's been a little off, Noodles.
I believe that Yoko Ono has slid in.
Yeah, it's let it be. We're in the corner. Got the piano going. We're like, where is this guy? This could be a really good album. Where is he? What's he doing? Yeah. We're in the let it be stage right now, and Al's brother, he's preoccupied because he liked the Niners, not the best. There were a couple other things. He was really pushing the Rams, not the best. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Here's the reality. If Josh Allen was clutch, we would be in a much better position right now. And I am not surprised, but I get the impression from the top down, the Bills are doing everything they can to avoid shining a light on the fact that Josh Allen just couldn't get it done. Firing McDermott today. McDermott came out after the game, and I thought it was actually somewhat embarrassing. You know, I'm up here for Buffalo, and that's not right. It's like, guys, you had ample opportunity to win that game. Yep. I get it was a controversial interception in overtime. I get it, and everyone sees it differently. Should have been a catch, should have been an interception.
Still could have won the game.
Should have won the game. Should have won the game. Up 24-3, charging. They settle for a field goal. He missed. I think it was Palmer in the flat. Might have been Cook. That could have been a touchdown. Certainly moved the chains. Underthrew it. In regulation, awful throw to Knox. Dawson Knox cruises into the end zone for a touchdown. They defer. The Broncos go 3 and out. He can't score.
Yeah.
Like, he can't even get him into field goal position. And all we said last week, and I have been the biggest booster of this guy's club.
You have been.
No one has pumped Josh Allen's tires more than I have. It's him, McDavid, Ohtani. Those are the 3 most entertaining athletes in pro sports. I love watching him play. I love him as a player. He seems like a great guy, easiest guy to root for. I'm rooting for the Bills. I want to see him do well. All we said last week, collectively, not just myself, if the Bills can put this guy in a position to win, he'll get it done for them. They did it. It wasn't the defense. It wasn't McDermott. It wasn't special teams. They gave him the ball multiple times, and he couldn't get the job done.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I think under all of this, McDermott stinks, Brandon Beane stinks, defense, there's got to be a whispering in the back of the minds of every Bills fan, what if he's not clutch? What if he doesn't have the clutch gene?
Well, guess what's happening next year, Brian? Joe Burrow's going to get off the mat. You never know what the hell he's going to do one year. Lamar's going to get up off the mat. You never know what he's going to have up his sleeve. And the biggest boogeyman of all time might get off the mat, and Patrick Mahomes, and say, I might go on a run and win 3 more in a row.
Exactly.
So it was just like it was sitting right there. And I don't know. You had to have known when McDermott was talking like that, I'm sticking up for Buffalo. That was just like begging to keep his job. Almost.
Yeah.
Like he knew it was. He knew he was going to get canned.
Where do you guys fall on the call? Because a lot of different, like you say, Hayes, a lot of differing opinions. Sitting with Gord Miller last night, he explained it. I thought he laid it out perfectly. That the call got right, and I guess, but you get a lot. Is this the right call? I mean, outside
Jamie,
of
I'm
Buffalo.
kind of with Brian. What Brian just said. It's like, okay, like. Whatever the call is, maybe you got jammed or you got just absolutely robbed on the call. It's like the only way I can describe it doesn't even sound kind of right. It's like you still could have won the game a different way, where it was
exactly.
This is not a factor.
I agree. 100%.
I don't know. It's just if everyone in Buffalo is just going to cling to that and say we got jobbed again, and now all the jobbings in Buffalo are just coming all out. We got screwed
the same.
with.
Well,
it's just like just force the issue and make it a
non-negotiable
non-negotiable thing where you're going to win the game and crush the other team, and just get rid of any chance of a call like that affecting it. I don't know.
That's why I asked, because we're outside of Buffalo. We know what people in Buffalo feel, but I thought Buffalo was going to win. I thought they were going to win like it all. I thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. I really did feel like this was their year. And it was because of one guy. We kept saying, Josh Allen, this is the year. The pathway's there. But I'm just trying to look at it from a non-emotional situation. Like, was that the right call? Seems like it. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't have.
I thought what was interesting, Noodles, was the review was so quick for a moment so monumental. For them not to take their time and review it longer was very surprising to me. I don't know about you guys, but we were in a room of 15 people. And we're like, all right, they're reviewing it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, my God, Knicks is back out there. Like the offense is out there and they're moving. That was surprising to me to an extent. The way it was explained, and Luke will explain it more in an hour. You got to get through the ground, so to speak. You got to land on the ground. It's still a fight. Credit to the Broncos player. They still had to go down the field. It was effectively a punt. They still had to make it down the field and still kick a field goal. And it's not all on Josh Allen. That's not what I'm suggesting. But it certainly wasn't all on Sean McDermott. And the thing is, with McDermott being fired today, it's an example of what we talked about with the Packers and LaFleur. And LaFleur is going to stay. That's what it sounds like. When you keep knocking on the door, when do you make the change and say, we have to change for the sake of it because we got to find someone else that can maybe get us over the hump? I understand that. I get that, and I think that's the reasoning here. keeping the GM and the architect of the team that was weaker than past years, I find a bit surprising. Brandon Beane not only stays, he gets promoted in Buffalo, but who are you going to get? Because it is a fork in the road, right? Like prior to McDermott, the Bills were the Jets. That's what they were. They went to the playoffs in 99, and then they didn't get back there until 2017. They went 18 years without the playoffs. Now, you could argue the reason they started making it back to the playoffs was because of Josh Allen, sure. And you could argue the reason McDermott stayed as long as he did is because of Josh Allen. I get it. And Allen's still here. But you better get the guy right. You better hire the next guy, and he better be right. Because if it's the wrong guy, you got to start going the wrong way. And Allen's not getting young, and the way he plays, he can't play like this for the next 10 years. I don't think he's got a window like other quarterbacks. Brady had a window of 25 years because he sat in the pocket and he used his head.
Never got touched. Yeah.
Exactly. He sat in the pocket. He never moved, and he just dissected every defense he played.
This guy's running all over the place.
Exactly.
And
he's not
people.
going to do this at 37, 38, 39. I don't think he can. I think he's got like a 5-year window, which is still an eternity in pro sports, but you better get this next guy right, and you better surround him with the right pieces.
You don't think John Harbaugh is like just kicking himself?
I know, he's in New York right now. Like, hi, how are you, Jackson Dart?
Wow, hold on a second. 40 sheets, though? Was 20 sheets a year? Wasn't
20
it 20 sheets?
I think Buffalo, old Terry Pagula might have been willing to pay that kind of money. And I don't know if Harbaugh would have been the right guy. Like, we'll see. But, man, it's crushing. You know what's been shocking to me is the reaction from Bills fans, and this is purely anecdotal, guys that I know and people that I've come across, even here at TSN, like almost celebrating. Got what we wanted. McDermott's out. I'm like, didn't you want to win? You didn't want to win. Like, the path is wide open for you. Denver, you beat Denver, you're going to New England. You see,
I had talked to one Bills fan, and I think they said this to me, and I won't mention any names who this Bills super fan is.
Carla.
I thought he wanted him to lose last week.
Yes.
He's like, I'm so pissed off that they won. Now we got to see this coach again. He wanted to lose last week
people
so
in
they
Buffalo
could gas the coach. They're so sick of McDermott.
That's the thing.
I don't know.
They believe that McDermott was the problem. That's basically what
more or less.
Bills fans are laying in. Now, Tomlin, would he be a?
Maybe. I mean, I don't. He's similar to McDermott though. Like, McDermott's a raw, defensively minded coach. That's like Tomlin. It's kind of like what Harbaugh represents. Like, I think they're going to go offensive. I think they're going to change the way they play offensively. They're going to lean into a more of a modern, offensively minded coach, progressive coach. That's where the whole league.
Stinky little Mike McDaniel.
I was just going to say, what about the goggles?
Too cold, man. Too cold.
Imagine how cold that little weasel would be up there.
He couldn't do it. Like, he could be your offensive coordinator. I think that'd be a great hire, right? If you can get him in as your OC and put him upstairs in that new stadium, it's great. But I lean into this theory, and it was exposed. Did you see Mike Vrabel yesterday? That guy was basically in a T-shirt, no hat. It's pouring. He's like this, like peering. He's on his toes the whole game, like staring at the field.
Yeah.
That's a football coach. In that kind of weather. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be
it's Andy Reid.
You got to be Andy Reid. You got to be in a ball cap and like a hoodie and I'll give you a vest. You know what I mean? You can't have a parka pulled over your head with a hat on. You can't do it because these players look at you and say, "No, man, that's not going to work.
That's not going to work. It's too soft.
It's not going to work for us." Man, I feel for Bills fans, but Josh Allen, 2 picks, 2 fumbles. That fumble at the end of the first half was as reckless as you can play. It can't happen. Like, it can't happen.
And is that the one where he kind of threw it on the ground?
Well, no, he was running. I don't even know where he was running. They were running out of time. Remember, there's 2 seconds on the clock. Peyton sent his kicker out for a field goal. That 3 points may have cost him the game in the end. But it was a wild weekend. Like, there was some good play, bad play. Seattle smoked the Niners. C.J. Stroud, I don't know what's up with that guy. Like, he is brutal right now.
Scrabble face.
Brutal.
Scrabble face.
Yeah. The work that people are doing on the internet with the memes on that guy are outrageous.
A+ stuff. There's been some really good stuff on him. And so we got the Rams, Seahawks, and you've got Denver playing host to New England. So Luke will join us in about 45 minutes. So more on that, more on McDermott being fired. Is it the right play? how much pressure or how much of that result was on the shoulders of Josh Allen. What did he make of the Bears miraculously pushing it to overtime? There's so much that came out of the weekend.
It's all connected. Yeah. You heard Pete DeBoer the other day. It's like sometimes the play of your best player dictates whether you get fired or not.
Yeah,
and if you've got a guy like Josh Allen who you picked as going to be the back-to-back MVP, a Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl MVP, when you flame out like that, someone's going to get gassed. But I think the GM, with all due respect, I mean, I'm not totally up to date on the inner workings of the Buffalo Bills, but when you got a guy that's in his prime like that, like how many years are you going to piss away not having all the weapons possible to support him?
Valid.
I would have canned the GM right with him.
Yep, valid. Like not good enough. Not enough weapons. The defense fell off, and that's where McDermott, I think, really got hurt again. He's a defensively minded coach, and the defense wasn't good enough. Their pass rush wasn't there. But, yeah, the team's not good enough. They're not built well enough. I get you. But they still gave him a chance to win, is my point. I'm not saying that they should have dominated. They could have dominated. I'm just saying that's a scenario where Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, they didn't have the greatest defense every single year. They didn't have the greatest weapons all the time. A lot of times it was like, we're going to do enough to give you the ball with a minute left.
Yeah, and they do it.
And they do it. And Josh, hasn't done it throughout his career in the biggest moments.
It's funny you say that, Brian, because I didn't go at it with that angle. I was, talking to Bills fans. Oh, we got screwed. Got rid of the coach. All of that. I didn't even think of shining a light on, their biggest star. The reason why, we kept saying the last couple of weeks, you think Josh Allen is going to be. He's the X factor. He's the guy. You're not going to turn him away. He's going to drag that team. And they gave him an opportunity, and now you make a good point. He didn't get it done at the most critical time. It's unfortunate.
And that's what you need to happen, right?
Yeah.
All right, so more on that coming up just after 5. Luke will be in here. He will be insufferable at 5 o'clock. He is going to
Stay humble.
No,
Stay humble.
You guys know the mantra. Stay humble.
Stay humble. So aggravating. It's such an annoying mantra.
Noodles, stay humble. We have formidable opponents.
That's what he. Yeah, but you know what he's doing? He says, "Stay humble," and then he throws a dagger.
I know.
And then goes, "But Noodles, we're going to stay humble." But you guys are great, formidable. I could see climbing back in. He is being a little bit like Al's brother, but I think it's because you guys jobbed him all season long.
He got hit hard down the stretch, and now he's in his element, and he's seeing the board very well.
He's doing
to
great.
His credit.
I'm a supporting cast, but boy, it's funny. The stay humble. That's
humble.
what it is.
I think if we have a big week and we climb back into this thing, Sunday Night Sports Center with Jay Onright, it comes right to us after the game, me, you, and Al's brother.
I love that idea. I love that idea.
You floated that in the group chat and said, I can see Al's brother on Jay's show.
Full breakdown.
No, I said Al's brother should be there instead of Luke.
Full breakdown in the chairs, right? With a full and a pointer and a whiteboard.
Video session with Al's brother on Jay Onright's show on Sunday night.
It's a missed opportunity if they don't do it.
Yeah.
All right, TJ Oshie later in the hour. We'll come back. Nice. The Leafs, every night they play. It seems like they're back in action tonight.
Crazy, Crazy.
And this is a massive 5-game homestand. I feel like that I'm getting deja vu because we just said it about the road trip. And credit to them. They got 5 of 8 points. That's a really good trip. Really good trip. And we'll get into the game on Saturday and how fun that game was in Winnipeg. But they have Minnesota, Detroit, Vegas, Colorado, Buffalo. That's their 5-game roadie. No back-to-backs, though. So you're at home, no back-to-backs, but this is as tough as it gets, a 5-game homestand. So it starts tonight with Quinn Hughes and the Wild in town. So we'll start teeing that up. TJ Oshie later in the hour. Best bet still to come. Something to chew on, brought to you by Boston Pizza as well. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on YouTube Live.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Overdrive continues, brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. TJ Oshie later in the hour. We're streaming on the TSN app, tsn.ca. You can find our podcasts wherever you download them, streaming live on YouTube, YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel, up on TSN 5. So the Leafs are back in action tonight. So weird. Like, I get it. We're this deep into the season. You know, we're 34 games away from the finish line. It's coming quick. We're almost at the Olympic break. But it feels to me like Tampa plays every single day.
Dude, it's crazy.
Every day. I'm like, oh, Tampa won again today. Like, they won again yesterday in Dallas. And it feels like Detroit. Like, it just feels like the teams in their division, the Leaf division, they're all doing extremely well. The hottest teams in the league are in the Leaf division. They're in the Atlantic division.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not including Florida, who gets Matthew Tkachuk back tonight, or Ottawa, who is a goalie away from being very competitive themselves. Maybe they found it with James Reimer. Who knows? Maybe Reimer's the man. I don't know. But the Leafs are back in action with Minnesota tonight, and obviously the Wild are a really good team. And
you might catch the Wild. They're missing Boldy and Eriksson Ek. Those are their two best players outside of Kaprizov, obviously.
And Hughes now.
And Hughes now. But, I mean, but Matt Boldy is up there in goal scoring for the league. He's a hell of a player. So you might be able to catch a team that a little bit wounded, on a road trip, all of that type of stuff. Again, if you're the Leafs, you got to worry about what you can control, not the other team. But, you know, I was looking at it and watched Minnesota play the other day. Found a way to get a win. But they're not as deep a team as we saw a week ago because of those two injuries.
Right.
I worry about that kind of first game back after some Western.
Yeah, listen, everybody.
It's always a doozy, man. I don't know why, but there's just basically no time to even have that as an excuse right now.
You're right, and a Monday night usually Mondays are there a little bit of kryptonite, you know, coming off a long road trip or longer road trip. Yeah, there's lots of things we can build in an excuse, but the thing is they don't have as Brian just laid out, they don't have the leeway. You got to stay right in that fight and get points every night because you mentioned it. Ottawa's a goalie away. Florida's getting players back. Tampa's plus 47, I think, 46 on goal differential. Mm-hmm. They're unbelievable. And they don't have Hedman and Point.
Right.
Like, that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Like, they're, Detroit, I watched them live last night. They're a good team. Like, they're a pretty good team. Mm-hmm. Like, they get goaltending now. I think they felt they were some goaltenders away and some internal growth, and they've got them both. Like, Gibson looks pretty good for them. Talbot's been good. Like, and in Montreal, they found a way against Ottawa the other night, got 2 points. And the other thing, Brian, 3-point games every night.
All the time.
Those guys in Ottawa did not know what to say about their goaltending the other night after that loss against Montreal.
Man, oh, man.
I think Sanderson
took a run at him. We got the clip. Why don't we play it? Here's Jake Sanderson on Maryland from Saturday night, the Habs game. Ottawa was all over them.
Up 5-3.
Up 5-3. They lost in overtime. And here's what Jake Sanderson had to say about that.
I think, Levy made some good saves, but, I think at the end of the day, you got to make more than 10 saves to win a game.
That was a short for him. It continued in other areas. He wasn't alone. Travis Green. Listen, it is.
Yeah,
it's
you get
been
to a point, Hayes. Yeah, it's enough. We're busting our ass. We're not giving up a whole lot, and we're losing a game 6-5 when we're up 5-3.
On 19 shots on 12 high-danger chances. Like, I can lay it out for you guys. But I feel bad on a couple of different levels. Levi Merilainen's not your number one. He was supposed to be a young backup, a 23-year-old to play about 25 games this year. That was his 10th in a row. Like, that's, Linus Ullmark, much documented. Linus is having struggles and not available to the team. They've signed James Reimer. I thought Reimer played really well last night. I'll be honest. I thought Reimer played really well. Gave them an opportunity. I thought that was a scheduled loss going in. They played 7 o'clock at home. They played at 5 o'clock in Detroit yesterday. I still think it's the most asinine thing from the league to play 22 hours later on a road trip. I don't know why they do that. I think that's the legal amount you're allowed to do. But Ottawa, got a point yesterday. But coming back to it, guys, goaltending. Leafs are getting goaltending. What happened? Guess what happens? They're getting points.
That's a big part of it.
Not getting goaltending. You're fighting for points every night. That's
exactly it.
Break it down to the simplest form.
Buffalo's getting goaltending now. Like that is what is going to separate down the stretch. Who has a tandem likely, because you need it, especially with the condensed schedule and back-to-backs and 3 games in 4 nights.
Yep.
You're going to need it. You need a tandem. Who's going to give you 915 save percentage, whatever it has to be, the combined number. Even 900 might do it. Now, I think if you're on the outside looking in, 910, 915. Like if Tampa, Detroit, Montreal might be able to cruise home with 900. Ottawa needs like 925 the rest of the way. You know what I mean? Like it's going to get to a point where the math, I don't know if it can math, if you know what I mean. But you're right. The Leafs, Hildeby did enough. And, I credit the Leafs. Like we said it prior to that trip. 4 points you take, 5 a really good trip. Sure, they should have had 6. Pissed away 1 in Vegas, no question. Yes. Should have had it. Should have been 6. Would have been a great trip. But 5 of 8 is a really good trip. And they were chasing that game. Chasing it. And they found a way to stay in it. They tie it late. Couple of bounces go their way, unquestionably. And, Matthews to Domi. And I thought Matthews, again, was really, really good. And, like, Willie's not going tonight. They don't know when he's going to skate again. Nyes is a game time. It's very concerning. I know it's a groin. It's the same issue before. Other people in the market, I think, have brought up, like, when you start talking Olympic Games and when you have to tap him on the shoulder and say, thanks, but no thanks, Willie. Good luck with that. I would assume Willie's target date is game 1 of the Olympic Games. I shouldn't say that. I don't know that, but I got to believe that Willie wants to represent his country at the Olympic Games.
All of them do, but it's a dicey subject, Hayes, because a guy like that is a perfect example. It's like, I really want to play in the Olympics. These guys are dying to play in the Olympics. They've all wanted it for so long, and I get it. I do get it. But when you're the team that's paying the bill, and it's like, so let me get this straight. You're dying to go over there. You haven't played for us, and then your first game is going to be back over there. And what if it's worse when you come back? Then we're screwed. That is going to be a spicy meatball when it comes down to it. Guys deciding, or teams getting involved in the decision of what the hell guys are going to do.
It's a great, point, because he's making $11.5 million. Toronto Maple Leafs are paying him, not Team Sweden. And I know it's a personal preference to go play for your country, all of that type of stuff. His job is in Toronto. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 1 point out of the play. They're trying to make the playoffs. They're going to need all hands on deck down the stretch. And if he's not healthy, or if he's close to being healthy, do you go? I mean, again, it might be a moot point because he might be back in a week and be flying and head into the Olympics and go and have a great Olympics. But if he's not, you have to look at what's best for the organization. And that, your job, your day job, is playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Can teams put a rules in place, Jamie, as far as this? Like, if I was a GM, I would say, you need to give us 5 good games that just show you're healthy before you're going over there. And if you can't do it, sorry, man. But I don't even know if they can do that.
They can't. I haven't combed over the CBA, but they can't, though. You can't because then it's very subjective. Where do you draw the line? You had something, you haven't been feeling well, you haven't played well, where do you draw the line? The GMs, I don't think they can do it. I think you're relying on the players being sensible. I think you're relying on the players and trusting the medical staff of the team. And that's where it might get dicey. That's where, if I'm a GM, I might go up to the doc and say, hey, dude, you tell him that groin is nowhere close to being ready. But it's his
that's
body.
More crooked than the other.
Of course it is.
I just mentioned.
Of course it is.
That's why you're Fergie.
I am Fergie. I am Fergie. How's the labrum going? No, you're not playing, or you're playing. I get it. And I'm being somewhat sarcastic. The point I'm trying to make is, I don't think you can tell him. And especially a guy like a superstar who's got term and what are you going to say to the guy? What are you going to hold over him? Well, if you go and get injured, we're not going to re-sign you. What are you going to say?
Well, no,
the guy's going to play. Guy wants to play, he's going to play. There's nothing you can do. If he wants to play, he's going to play. And I guarantee you there will be a player that is either barely back or not back at all that will still go and play at the Olympic Games.
You talk about telling the doctor something. I guarantee you there's going to be guys that are going over there not telling the truth to their team, saying, I'm money right now. And they're just saying, I'm dying to get over there and play in the Olympics, and this might work, it might not. And it'll be a yard sale. It'll be a mess.
Keep in mind, guys, as much as we want it to be a perfect scenario, there is players that are going to get hurt over there. It happens. Block a shot, groin injury, you name it.
I think it happened to Johnny Tavares and so.
Well, it did happen to JT. Yes. My point being is you can't bubble wrap.
No, of course.
That's different. You're allowed
totally
to go play.
Different story on that.
Totally
front.
different.
This
story.
is before you go.
Right.
You know how you're feeling, and again, we'll see. We're having the same chats with the Four Nations, and we'll see. And it sucks because Willie, since returning from the injury, been really playing well, and something's nagging at Matthew Nyes, and he's a game time decision tonight. And it's tough, but this is a big homestand, man. Minnesota, Detroit, Vegas, Colorado, Buffalo. That's as tough as it gets in the league. Like Vegas is on fire right now. Colorado, obviously the best team in the league. Detroit and Buffalo are in your division and ahead of you, and they've been on heaters all year, or Buffalo certainly has for a month.
How about Vegas getting Anderson?
They're always in on everyone,
I got to give that team a lot of credit because I don't know. Yeah. I've been griping and bitching about teams that are just satisfied with their own players and let's just keep rolling it back and running it. If there's a good player, Kelly McCrimmon goes and gets him. And it's it's almost like they're that team where there's no cap on that team. They just have so many good players, and you're like, how is the mathing for the Vegas Golden Knights? And yet they went out and got another solid player. White Cloud, you've been great. You've been a third-pairing right-handed shot D for a long time here, but thanks for everything. See you later. We're getting a better guy. It's incredible how they do it. It's impressive to watch.
It is. And I kept waiting for, and the extension. There's no extension. They paid that for a player.
Don't you think that's a wink, nudge?
I was just going to bring that up,
the
Brian.
Same thing with Hannafin. Couldn't work it out. A month later, 8-year deal. Figured it out.
I 100% believe what you just said.
Wink,
100%.
nudge.
But they went and got him. Keep in mind, that's who played with Hannafin. Mm-hmm. Hannafin and Anderson played together in Calgary. They just brought that tandem back together. It's a crafty move. I think the Flames did all right in that deal as well. Because you can, look at White Cloud, 29-year-old guy with term. You can decide to keep him. You can move on from him. You can do all these.
What's the wink, nudge about the extension? It's just either.
Well, because then the team doesn't have to pay as much.
Right.
That's the whole point.
If you're trading for a player without term, you're basically acquiring a rental. So you're not paying as much. Now you acquire a rental, you're still giving up. They gave up, a first and a second in White Cloud. The second turns to a first if they win the cup.
If they win the cup, they get two firsts in White Cloud.
Don't you think that as soon as the guy gets in a Lamborghini and puts his shades on with the roof down on the Vegas Strip going to the rink, he's like, I think I'm going to sign an extension here.
That's what Brian just said.
It screams collusion. It screams tinfoil hat. Tell them you're not doing it, but hey, once you get here, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Do us a favor because it will help you. Your future team doesn't have to give up as much to get you. It's a smart play. And I believe it just happened with Hannafin. Couldn't work it out. No, it's a rental. 2 months. Yeah, just sign here, initial there. Perfect. Thanks so much. This is great.
Exactly.
The exact same thing's going to happen. I fully believe that.
Yeah.
But Vegas they've been as aggressive as any team in pro sports for the last decade since they walked in. Every year. Petrangelo's out. We need a right defenseman that can play this style. Go get him. He's available. We'll pay the price. And you just got to tip your cap, man, because they're a really good team. And now they got Anderson. And I think if you're a Flames fan, the hope is, okay, the owner or whatever has said, let's go. Let's go down this path, start trading pieces, do the retool, rebuild, whatever, buying into just picking up different pieces, younger pieces, prospects, picks, et cetera, and start moving in that direction because I think that inevitably has to happen. All right, so Luke Wilson in about 20 minutes. TJ Oshie coming up as well. Leafs Wild tonight. We'll tee that up. Matthew Tkachuk making his return. Where does he stand on the Anderson deal? Sherwood's on his way from Vancouver to San Jose as well. The Sharks are making moves trying to get in. So we'll catch up with TJ. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 5.
Back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, TJ Oshie coming up here in a moment. Luke Wilson a little bit later this afternoon. Best Bets coming up. Shout out to Chris Goddard, who I was going to pick. I swear I was going to pick him.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was like, God, that guy's got to be the best player in this field, or one of them. He's coming off a hot season. He made the Ryder Cup.
I had his name circled, and I don't know who. You went with VJ Singh over Chris Goddard. You have no
it was
excuse.
A gut. That stinky Harry Hall with that hat almost won.
Well, he was in contention. I wouldn't say almost won. But anyway, we got the Amex and Scotty Scheffler making his debut this week. We'll get to more picks later in the week. You got the national championship game on ESPN and on TSN tonight, of course. Indiana against Miami. The game's in Miami, too. Like, you would think that's, a bit of an advantage for the Hurricanes. But anyway, we'll see what comes of it with Carson Beck, who admitted over the weekend that he graduated 2 years ago.
Yeah. Somebody asked him in a presser, it's like, you late for class or something? He's like, class? He goes, I graduated. I haven't been to school in 2 years.
Like,
Why
how
would
is
you
he
say
playing?
that?
Exactly, Noodles.
Yeah, like, that's outrageous.
What does he do? Work at a car dealership or something?
I guess. He must take some elective classes. I'd love to see what they are. Could you imagine?
Of how much he's making, though, in that
millions,
millions in that NIL deal.
Yeah, and they would argue it's paid off. It's not Miami's fault. Like, they're in the national championship game, so they're happy with that investment. But it must be hilarious to see that guy walk around campus. Like, just hysterical to see him walk around. Just a grown adult paying taxes,
living in a mansion,
graduating years ago. Anyway. All right, so we got Leafs Wild tonight. We've had trades all of a sudden. Right? We've been waiting for deals, and we had Rasmus Andersson traded. Kiefer Sherwood traded from the Canucks to the Sharks, and got a bunch of games in the NHL tonight. To chat about it, we're joined now by longtime NHLer, Cup winner, big-time Olympian. You see him on ESPN. There he is, TJ Oshie. What's up, TJ?
Hey, how we doing?
We're doing really well. Okay. We were actually just talking about going to the Olympics. And I guess you could speak to it based on your own experience. And, injuries popping up beforehand. I don't know if you had to deal with that or not. But what is the protocol with your club team? Like, if you're injured a couple weeks before you have to go to the Olympics, like, what is your GM asking you? What is your team asking you? How much of a priority do you have to be transparent about how you're feeling with the understanding you want to go to the Olympics, but you also have an obligation to be healthy and play for your club team?
Yeah, I don't know. That was never an issue with, I guess, with me. I feel like if I had any chance of playing, there's no way a coach or a team could keep me out of it. I just, I'm kind of more of an in-the-moment kind of guy. But I guess I can see where that could maybe be a factor.
For sure, and that's what we figured. Most guys would say, we're going. Like, I don't care if my leg's holding on by a thread. I'm playing, right? Because you're dying to go to the Olympics. You can't blame guys for wanting to go.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. I think it's almost a little bit the culture of the game of hockey. Like, if you can play, you're playing. You know what I mean? And even leading up to it, I'm sure there's some guys right now that are banged up, but you work with your team all season long to try to get yourself into a place where you can make playoffs, even if you have the Olympics coming up. In the end, you're really playing for your teammates. So I'm sure once the guys are, with their local teams, they're doing everything they can to help that team. And when they get to the Olympics, they'll do the same thing.
TJ, your shootouts at the Olympics obviously is part of your legacy, Stanley Cup winner, but the shootouts were awesome at the Olympics. I know Canada at the World Juniors had a shootout coach, to help them. Like, do you think that that's possible? Like, if USA Hockey went to you and said, let's get you involved with the shootouts, do you think you can help in that aspect, or is that just something with what you just mentioned a couple of minutes ago? It's just in a split second, you got to figure out what the heck you're going to do on the goaltender.
Yeah, I could definitely help. I think there's a certain thing that there's little tells that I used to look for when I was going down the ice. certain ways, certain kind of fundamental things that anyone could kind of incorporate into their moves. But really, when it comes down to a shootout, there's a lot of feel to it. You can't just make up your mind on what you're going to do and then just close your eyes and hope it works.
Yeah.
Goalies are too good. So you got to have a natural flow about how you make your moves to have a backup and then a second backup depending on what happens. So, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, shootouts are one of the my favorite things in the world to do. So I think I could help. You know, if anyone wanted a pointer, I'm sure I could figure something out. But there's also a natural component to it that I think the best in the game and the best that have been around, or the ones that I'm sure we're going to see at least one shootout in the Olympics. The ones that it comes a little more naturally to, those are the ones that will have the most success.
How hard is it to park rivalries when you are battling another teammate that you end up playing with the Olympics? And I'll give you an example. Brad Marchand and Sam Bennett ended up being teammates, but before that they were heated rivals. How hard is it once you get into the mix for Team USA? Is it to park those rivals in the NHL?
I'd say it's almost like the initial meeting, right? So, like, for me, when I went to the Olympics, it was Blues, Blackhawks. It was Patrick Kane, right?
Right.
Probably our best player on the team. And so when you first get there, you're like, hey, what's up, Kane? Or what's up, Osh? But, like, deep down, you're like, God, I was just, like, trying to kill you last week. And so, but I think that's kind of maybe just for me, it was just like the initial meeting, kind of get over that awkwardness. And then when you put on the jersey, I mean, representing your country, nothing comes closer to that. And there's no easier way to bond than, throwing on the red, white, and blue and going against Canada or something.
Absolutely. With TJ Oshie. Noodles just mentioned two Panthers. Speaking of which, Matthew Tkachuk returning tonight. So he's going to make his season debut this evening. The Panthers have 53 points. They're 4 points out of a playoff spot. How much of a difference do you think Tkachuk will make for the Panthers? And are you still a believer Florida will make the playoffs?
I'm absolutely a believer. So I can answer that one right away.
Okay.
Their style of play is one of the only ones I think right now that they can kind of play a similar playoff style year round. Obviously, it's a little bit less, right? Because you got a full season, you can't run around, hurting yourself. But I think Matthew Tkachuk will make a massive impact. It's going to take a little bit of that pressure off of the rest of the guys that have been trying to carry a pretty large load here with him and Barkov out, and they've had other injuries too. And so with that and their style of play, Chucky, he creates so much offense, and he's so good at, getting pucks to the net and finding ways to score goals. And I think it's just going to lift the whole team up. I think they've been scraping here trying to stay in it and missing two massive pieces to your puzzle. You can get away with that for, a couple weeks. I remember if we were ever missing like John Carlson and Ovechkin, like it's almost like you'd almost win like the next 2, 3, 4 games just out of adrenaline alone from trying to pick up the slack. But it's hard to do that over a long period of time. So I think it's going to make a huge difference on the entire lineup, and it's going to lift some of that pressure off of everyone. And he's going to bring his game. I'm sure. I mean, coming back from the injury he came back from, I'm sure he is 100%, right? You're not going to go before the Olympics at 75% and have a chance of re-injury. So I bet he'll hit the ground running.
Osh, do you like the extreme parity, particularly in the Atlantic Division, where 1 week you could be in the basement, and if you go on a heater 10 days later, you could be near the top? Do you think that's good for hockey? Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, I think it's great. It keeps everyone in it, right? You don't want to get around with 20 games left and have most of the playoffs already figured out. I think it makes it more competitive. I always loved games that felt important, right? And like, obviously all games are important, but some games when you're trying to fight a team for a playoff spot, especially those teams, when bubble teams play each other, in your mind, in your locker room, you're saying this is a 4-point game. Like, we take 2 of their points and gain 2. And, sometimes in those games where we'd play, like back in the day when Ottawa wasn't doing very well, we would, you get up by a couple goals and I'd almost get a little less interested. I'd still, give it my all and go 100%. That's kind of who I was. But you get not – it just wasn't as interesting when there wasn't a lot on the line. So I think it's great for hockey. I love it. I'd like to see my Caps a little higher up on the list. But other than that, I think it is great for hockey.
Just quickly before we let you go, has Ovi always had the subway routine with the chips and everything walking on the plane on the road, or is that just something lately as he's gotten a little older?
No, that's been going for a long time. They finally snapped the right picture, and it got the right amount of press behind it. I sat next to him at the card table on the planes, and it is every day, every road trip stops. There's a little gas station on the way to Dulles, and it has a subway inside the gas station. And so guys are stopping in there, loading up whatever, filling up with gas, getting whatever you need. And Ovi would always be in line, and he'd look at you and be like, "Babe, Subway, babe." And you're like, "I'm good, man. I ate the ring." And Subway. I think he gets an Italian and hot Cheetos.
Brilliant.
It's unbelievable. He's one of a kind, man. He's the world's most interesting man. He's a phenomenal human being.
It's so much better that it's a Subway at a gas station, too.
I know. Because it's probably grubbier than normal.
Oh, it's so grubby.
Yeah, the guy cuts the lettuce with his feet up on the counter.
There's definitely
it's good for 900+ goals, so maybe I should have taken them up on it.
No kidding, man. Give me a gas sub and I'll snipe 900+ in the NHL. What a beauty. All right, TJ, appreciate you doing this, man. We'll do it again soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, gentlemen. Have a good one.
You got it. Cup winner, Olympian. See him on ESPN. There's TJ Oshie. Subway and a gas station.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's grubbier than way grubbier than normal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Guys pumping gas using the dirty hands to make your sub.
And there's ridiculous. Other things you can buy in there, too, right? That's the thing. There's darts and, there's give me some gas.
That guy changes an oil with his bare hands, blows a dart, and then fires on a cold-cut combo without washing his hands.
Oil change, dart, and a 12-inch combo for the greatest goal scorer of all time.
I love it.
Yeah, you got to appreciate it, man. You got to appreciate it. All right, hour 2 coming up. Luke Wilson will join us more into the Leafs Wild tonight. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan. There he is, Luke Wilson.
Noodles, let's stay humble today. No matter what happens, let's stay humble.
Dude. Shut up.
Nauseating. It's so nauseating.
It's worse than being a dick, like, honestly. Just shut up.
Yeah,
I'd rather you guys were be obnoxious,
Noodles,
be
don't
loud.
let him. Just ignore the noise. Let's stay humble, man.
It's so aggravating.
Stay. I was telling them last hour, the fact that you would say stay humble and then just a shot for Al's brother here. And then a shot.
Just crushing.
It's so gutless. It's so gutless.
It is. And poor Al's brother, man. He is in a shell right now. Like, we're doing okay. Not well enough, evidently, but you guys are 5-0 on your picks. We're 3-2. We bet against the Bears twice, and have had two of the most miracle, outrageous backdoor covers in the history of the game. You got to chew on it. Credit to the Bears for covering and winning the first time, covering and losing the second time. But we still feel pretty good, right, O? Like, I know you're Steve Kerr and Antonio Brown. You're in a weird place right now. But we still believe in you and believe in our process, and there's a lot of points still up for grabs.
Yeah, I will say this, boys. What's kind of been fun about this whole thing for me is just like how much it matters at this point. Partially because we got shelled during the regular season. But like yesterday, if you can picture this, I'm sitting on Jay's desk and it's fourth down. You know, those games end and we come on right away. And as soon as Caleb starts pirouetting out, I'm thinking they covered.
Yeah.
You know, they covered.
100%. When they're chasing him out of the pocket,
and that's
I'm like,
where my
done.
head goes. And then all of a sudden, as soon as Komet catches it, I'm actually cheering go for two. Not because I really want them to go for two. I just know that if they go for two, the cover is safe either way.
Secure the cover. So can you speak to this? Like, I think most people understand. Brilliant play from Caleb Williams. Like,
yes.
I'm not taking anything away from him. Elusive, imaginative. His arm to be on his back foot, throw that up. There was like an Aaron Rodgers vibe to that. But it's incredibly lucky. Like, he wasn't saying – that wasn't a play. Like, I'm going to scramble and find Komet in the end zone.
No.
It was broken down coverage.
Everything was
brutal
well.
coverage by the Rams.
Yes, everything was covered well early, I'm saying. Yes.
And then I don't know what the hell the defender
And it was
doing.
a great pass rush by not just Jared versus everything else. But the most impressive thing you saw on that graphic right there is the air yards is 51.
Unreal.
Most people on planet Earth can't throw 51 yards crow hopping into it. Mm-hmm. Imagine sprinting backwards, going side to side, really, having Jared Verse in your face and being on your back foot and being like, okay, here's 51
unbelievable play. I can't take anything away from him.
But there's some luck involved.
100%. And you know what hurt is someone sent me a tweet right afterwards that reminded me of, I think it was the 14 championship game, the 2-point conversion.
To me.
To you.
Yes.
From Russ, where Russ did the same thing, and the Packers, here it is.
Yeah.
Someone sent it to me, and I'm like, this is sickening because of who he throws it to, too, because that's Russ. Like, just... And it, you made a great play
catch.
on it.
It's a circus.
It's a lucky catch.
So if we play this back, I don't know if we can pause it. This is kind of a fun moment for me. If we can go back to beginning and just not even roll it. Going into games, you'll appreciate this. We had 2-point plays every week. And now if we needed more, we could obviously add more. But I remember being in the huddle when we scored, and it's okay, we're going for 2. One of the plays, I was our first read and really our only read. This play, if you look at it, and it's actually a great job, I'm not even in the read. So what we wanted was Doug. So I remember being in the huddle being like...
Doug Baldwin.
Yeah, Doug Baldwin. In the huddle, I'm like, please call my number. And then they call the formation, and I'm like, man. So Russ is rolling out to the right. We're hoping to have man coverage to the right, but the Packers pass it off. See how they pass it off? We're trying to go to Doug. I remember sitting there being like, oh, man, this play's dead. Like, there's no world. And when that ball was in the air, I'm like, Russ, there was no chance you threw this to me. And then, obviously, it ended up being a huge play because Aaron drove the field and tied the game up.
Right, exactly. And now the difference also, not that we need to review from 12 years ago, but you broke on that ball. Like, Komet kept running towards the back of the end zone, and it hit him. But anyway, it
was a gong show. Again, it's just, sometimes you get lucky. You get very lucky as an offense. It's kind of a prayer, Hail Mary, throw it up. I get why you went to Komet because, he's a bigger frame. But I think the Rams would have been pretty sick if they didn't,
crushing
they won.
Crushing for the Bears that they lose in overtime.
Yes.
And there's a lot of conversation going on right now about whether or not if you win the coin toss, you defer or take the ball, where I believe the Bills won the toss, deferred, lost in overtime. I believe the Bears won the toss, deferred, lost in overtime.
Yeah.
Small sample size, but where do you stand on?
I'm still on the take the ball second.
Okay.
I really am, and it's unfortunate, but I actually just went over this play kind of for more analytical thing. I really think right now, if you're Ben Johnson, you're the Chicago Bears, the interception in overtime, which led to the field goal that you lost the game on, I don't know how they don't execute that. That has nothing to do with Caleb Williams. It has nothing to do with Caleb Williams. Zach Collaros just kind of broke it all down for me. We had the all 24 angle of it. It is maybe the perfect play call. It is executed well. And, DJ Moore needs to come flat there. And it is a...
Did he quit on that route?
I don't know
it's tough to say that,
word, or just it gets weird. But
Collins
instead
kind of indicated that.
And it's bad when you see it from the other angle. He needs to be flat there. They have a clear with Odunze on the other side of it. It's open. Caleb sets the whole thing up, Ben Johnson, and that's the game. He catches that there. Assuming they make the field goal, that is the game. So I get that it worked out the other way both times, but for me, I really like the idea of going second in overtime.
Okay.
Partsy, how big are the round tables regarding their quarterback? Like you saw in Houston with C.J. Stroud, they have to be looking at that guy, and maybe Caleb Williams to a certain degree, where it's this guy can get us that far, but is he really going to be the guy to win us 2 more games? Is he capable of doing that? I think Hayes brought it up in the first hour. It's some Buffalo fans must be saying about Josh Allen, he's the best quarterback, he's the best football player in the world, but we don't know if he can win the big one.
Yeah, so there's 3 guys you mentioned there, and I have some pretty strong stances on all 3. I'll start with the most positive, which for me right now is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams.
You think he can be the guy?
Yes, I do. I do, because the things that I'd like to see him get better at are the easy throws. That 4th and 4 is a prime example, and I didn't tell Dugan to pull this up, but there was a 2nd and 4 on that drive where it's a quick little speed out, and he fires a fastball, I believe it was over Luther Burden's head. And if he's just accurate with a 5-yard, speed out, 6-yard speed out, we catch that ball, we get out of bounds, and now all of a sudden it's 1st and 10 from I think the 12-ish, and the clock is stopped because we're out of bounds. We don't need that miraculous finish. Those are easy to clean up. You saw the growth with this guy with Ben Johnson. As strange as Ben Johnson is with the handshakes, with some of the off-the-field theatrics, I don't think there's any denying that he's an offensive guru. The talent and the arm talent, the escapability, the athleticism, I couldn't be more brighter in the fact that Ben Johnson's there. I could not be more,
optimistic about his future.
Bingo. So that would be my first one.
I like where Williams is at.
And he's only in year 2. I think you got to give him more time. I do think this guy can go the distance. I'll go to the one I have the most questions about, which is C.J. Stroud. And what's strange here is you went
AKA Al's brother.
Dude, he looked like he had never played football yesterday.
Well, dude, some of those hope plays where he was pressured and he was tossing it up in the air like a peewee football player, it was what are you doing, dude?
Brutal throws.
Bizarre. In O-Dog, what I'd say, multiplies the absurdness of them is how great his defense is.
Yes.
Where it's okay, the one there, which was the pick 6, I get that it sucks taking a sack. I get that you want to go make a play. But you have to have some sort of feel that you have what I would, I hate using this term too often, but a generational defense on the other side of the ball.
Dude, give him Joe Flacco quarterback, and you're going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're up 3 points here in the second quarter. The touchdown New England scored was on somewhat of a busted miscommunication cover 0, which was still a bang-bang play. Will Anderson Jr. was destroying Will Campbell.
Yes, and Hunter was chasing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It was
he plays average, they win that game. Average, they win.
He spots them 7 there. I thought, too, some of the just missed throws from 5 yards. Hey, it's first down. We have a wide open man, and it's inaccurate or it's batted down. I'm like, man, in a game like that, when you're in New England, it's bad weather. There's two good defenses. Your defense is generational. 5 yards matters. Staying on schedule and being in 2nd and 5 versus 2nd and 10 is a massive difference from a play caller. I worry about Stroud. I do. I don't think the sky is completely fallen. Obviously there's a little recency bias because the last 2 games have been horrid. I think you can get this guy back on track, but I do think there needs to have some sort of conversation in the offseason with Nick Haley, their new OC, being like, how do we develop this guy? And I hate to bring this up, but it's like after his first year, he had Bobby Slowick as his OC. Everyone was like, hey, he was in the MVP chat at the end of the year. The second year, he regressed a bit, and everyone blamed Bobby Slowick. Let's bring in a new guy. And I didn't love that, especially because Bobby Slowick was a guy that was potentially going to be a head coach somewhere that year, was getting interviews. And certainly now you're probably sitting there thinking, hey, maybe it wasn't Bobby Slowick.
It's trouble there. All right, let's get to Josh Allen.
He had some stupid comments earlier in the year where he felt like he said he was like feeling old.
Yes,
it was bizarre.
Not good. All right, Josh Allen. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here.
Interception, all of that.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
I don't love when they're like, these are things that annoy me as an ex-player, and they're like, oh, Josh Allen, 4 turnovers or whatever it was. Okay, some of the turnovers his fault, 1,000%. The end of the half cannot happen in any situation. I thought that was a massive play. Obviously, the 3 points jammed him in the end. There is the pick that was in Denver's end zone.
Yes.
Again, I actually went over that somewhat recently with Caleris. It was the perfect read. It was the perfect play call. It was the perfect throw as far as, like, we didn't force anything. He missed the throw. That is his fault. He missed the throw. That was not a stupid idea. We missed the throw by about 5 yards or else that's a touchdown. Okay, now we get into the one that I don't pin on him was when Bonito drilled him in the back. Okay?
Yes.
This is why I don't like when people just blanket statement, oh, Josh had this many turnovers. You watch that play back. Shakir misses his chip. He's supposed to chip outside shoulder. Dawkins sets shallow because he's expecting his chip. It's a waterfall effect here. You also have a guard sliding that way. Josh Allen steps back. He has a chip and 2 linemen pushing that way. He is not expecting to get drilled in the back. You cannot pin that on Josh.
No, the sack fumble's not on him.
Not on him.
And the last interception, maybe not on him. I mean, it's a battle, and
it's the right
comes
throw.
Up with it.
It's the right throw. So I don't think it's as egregious.
2 of 4, though, are on him.
I agree.
That's still a lot in
and
the playoffs.
I thought what was a bigger issue was the 2 missed throws. One was to Dawson Knox in the seam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then 2 was to McCole Hardman in overtime.
Was that in the flat?
It was kind of a corner. It was
okay. Because I thought the third down in the flat, he was getting rushed. It led to the field goal. I can't remember. It was Palmer or Cooks he threw it to. But he underthrew it. Remember the guy picked it up and ran it into the end zone? It hit the ground. That was a bad throw.
Yes.
Now,
so
I don't know
a few of those.
Yes. I mean, that's my concern is McDermott's taking the heat today. I didn't like McDermott's post game. Like maybe he was trying to save his
I have
job.
a lot of thoughts on that.
I thought it was just excuse after excuse.
Bingo.
Woe was me, Buffalo. Why can't we catch a break? He had 3 opportunities, Allen, to win that game.
Bingo.
Like, in my opinion, we came into the week, and I said it a million times. I've heard you say it. Everyone said it. This defense and the special teams, everyone else on the team, the whole objective is to put the ball in his hands late and give him a chance to win it.
Yes.
When they're up 24-3, he could have won that game if he drives them into 6. If they go up 8, I don't think Nix is getting into the end zone twice because they would have to score a touchdown, then a 2-point conversion. I'm not sure he does that. At a minimum, if they tie it, ball's in your hand, all you need is a field goal to win it. Couldn't do it. Late, obviously in regulation, the throw to Knox was a bad throw. Was he pressured? Was there some arms up at the line? Yes, but still it's a field throw and he couldn't make it. And then in overtime, 3 and out, he's got the ball. He can't even put him in a position to kick a field goal. So it's McDermott's fault. It's Bean's fault. It's the defense's fault. Unfortunately, to me, they did everything they could to put him in an opportunity to have his Mahomes moment, and he didn't capitalize. He didn't do it. And now you got to have whispers in Buffalo. Does he have the clutch gene?
So
can he close?
Okay.
You have to have that whisper in the back of your mind.
Everything you said there, I agree with.
Except the last part.
The whispers are very quiet.
Are they?
In my opinion, they should be very quiet.
What more can the Bills do to give him a Mahomes-Brady opportunity than what they just gave him?
I know what he's going to say, the roster.
Right.
Yes. You talk about Mahomes, okay?
Knox ran the route, man.
Okay, time out now. Let's get into this. So you talk about Mahomes. Mahomes in his early years had Tyreek Hill,
yes,
who was phenomenal, and Travis Kelce, there's an argument that he is the best pass-catching tight end in the history of the game.
100%. And they changed the rules because of that game, because of for Josh Allen, because they're like, this isn't fair. Since they changed the rules, I believe he's 0-3.
So the Knox
in the
thing,
big overtime game.
The Knox thing, I get, and again, I just watched this where it's like, hey, he throws a little high, Knox goes a little flat. Yeah, I think that's a one he's going to want back.
Got to drop that.
He's going to want back badly. But you mentioned overtime, and I'm pretty sure it was some McCole Hardman, and it was a little condensed formation, kind of smash concept, where that's one where I think he's expecting McCole Hardman to break that flat. And it's like McCole Hardman's caught what? 3 balls from the guys
he was on the practice squad like a week ago.
That's where you kind of need a guy that you've thrown the football to consistently. Okay. So I do get where you're coming from, but my whispers for Josh not having the clutch gene, just because this game he didn't have it, he has had massive clutch genes and moments throughout the year and throughout his career.
Yeah. Now, I mean, he's 8 years in.
Do you think the coach should have got the gate then?
Me personally, so this is now, you guys know I don't love throwing the conspiracy hat on. I do not love throwing it on, but I've got it on today based on what happened. Okay, so after the game, this is the kind of stuff that I look into, I find very fascinating, was you talk about the whole catch, no catch thing, and I'm not gonna get bogged down in that minutia, but I thought it was very strange how he was like, I'm standing up for Buffalo. I call it, and there's some reporter said that McDermott called him on the plane and was like, this is a catch. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, again, let's go over this whole thing, sure. If it's not clear either. Like, this isn't 100% a catch. Okay, I'm on the belief it's an interception. I am. Okay, but either way, it's like when a coach starts coming on here saying, like, I'm standing up for Buffalo, I'm doing all these things, to me, he's pandering to the fan base.
But exactly. We lost the coin
hanging
toss.
on for dear life.
And at that point, I'm like, he must have known what was coming.
Possibly.
Now, the fact that this is where my hat goes on, the fact that Bean was retained, I found very strange. And what I found strange about it is maybe this is like a Pete Carroll, John Snyder thing where McDermott had his hands on this roster more than the GM did. I have no idea. I'm not in there. But who in their right mind is going to be like, this is McDermott's fault, not Brandon Beane, unless McDermott is the one pounding his fist on the table saying, I don't want these guys. I want the people I have in the room. I don't want to go make more changes. Like, what are the philosophical differences that Brandon Beane had versus Sean McDermott? That's where I completely scratch my head and start to wonder what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and that is a valid question. And,
that's fair. Yeah.
Beane didn't only stay, he got promoted. He got a new title,
which is,
in
again,
Buffalo.
I like, that was jaw-dropping to me.
Yeah. And the roster, it's been well documented. Not good enough, or, decent roster, but could use improvement. He's taken a ton of heat in Buffalo for his, lack of weapons he's surrounded Allen with. And we'll see what he does this offseason. Immense pressure. I just don't know who they're going to hire. Who do you bring? Like, the favorite right now is Brian Daboll to come in and be the head coach. Yes, it is. Like, on a lot of books, Brian Daboll's the favorite to take over as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Luke, would you take Daboll or would you take Tomlin?
Wow, that's a great question.
Thank you.
Wow, that one stumped me right there. I don't want. Listen,
dude, you've been trashing Daboll for 3 years. How can you
but I don't
thinking
know.
About
I don't know if Tomlin is like the guy I would want in Buffalo either.
Well, he's a McDermott vibe. Like, he gives me a McDermott vibe, defensive, rah guy that's going to get you to the playoffs. McDermott gets them to the playoffs every single year.
For that team, I would take Daboll, but I would prefer neither.
I don't like Daboll as a head coach.
Neither do I. But I mean, if you're
Guys,
making me either or,
this little Mike McDaniel wheeling around with his glasses on and a toque.
Okay,
go Bills.
Here's
go.
a crazy one for you. Crazy
Parts,
theory.
you like it, don't you?
I do like it.
I knew you would.
Stop it, dude.
I've got one crazy one for you.
What? How can you say stop it? Look at how Tua played this year. Could you imagine Mike McDaniel with Josh Allen?
If he's the offensive coordinator, I'd love it. I can't. My theory on him stands.
Think outside the box. Let's get the weasel up here.
I've got one. I've got one for you, but this might be completely crazy and gone though. What about the guy with the 24-year-old girlfriend?
Bill Belichick comes out of retirement.
And that's
Bill Belichick to
that's
Buffalo.
an organization that he has torched for
20 years. Noodles.
I'll be honest.
Would you take Belichick back?
Me personally, no, but I could see how Bill would want that job. I could see how
who wouldn't want that job. You walk into Josh Allen as your quarterback,
and also for Bill, the way it ended in New England.
Oh, he loved to take them out. Listen, they got a real chance of winning a Super Bowl now in New England with that defense. I worry about their offensive line a little bit.
Yeah.
But now, you got Jarrett Stidham playing quarterback for the Broncos.
Listen,
that is crushing that Bo Nix immediately is done for the year with a fractured ankle right after a game like that.
Gary Stidham.
Yeah.
Tough, man.
I think you guys should give us that call.
We might.
I think you should.
O-Dog's going to make that. Steve Kerr is making the call at the end of the week.
Dude, you honestly call me Steve Kerr one more time, I'm going to kick you right in the pills when I get into work.
I just want to put some out there, because we're saying humble. I just want to put some out there.
Yeah.
You guys brought on a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You brought him on.
Right.
You bring on professional athletes because in playoff time, a guy like O-Dog, my old partner, knows how to win. He has won multiple championships in this very format. What did you guys do? You discarded his opinion.
No.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
You know how the chain of command goes, Partsy?
How?
It goes, me and Al's brother, we just have these thoughts, and he goes like this every time. Yeah, but I don't know. And then he dismisses them.
This is what I'd say right now from an outsider just looking in. To me, you're Brian LaFleur. Specifically
not a
against
winner,
the
is that what you're
Bears.
saying?
Specifically against the Bears.
Yeah.
You look great for 3 quarters, and then
you're half Josh Allen, half Matt LaFleur.
Listen,
Brian LaFleur.
Great hair, lots of money, lots of respect.
And a tiny tinge of C.J. Stroud in there.
Let's say I gotta say humble.
I gotta overcome that. Listen, I understand it. I hear it. It's not easy to take. And even the Josh Allen criticism, where I'm coming from, I love Josh Allen. I have pumped his tires more than anybody possibly on earth. And I'm amazed at the amount of people blaming McDermott, blaming the refs. Allen, you got to close there, man.
If 100%.
The whole game is quarterback at the end. That's football now. At the end of the game, for the most part. Now, it is intriguing this year. Denver's defense, New England's defense. There's some great defenses still playing. Seattle's defense is elite. The Rams scare me a little bit. They looked good last night. But this is modern football. From Brady to Mahomes, it's you get the ball late and you've got to close.
Hayes,
you have
it's
to
as
close.
simple as
It's just
this.
the way it goes. And
I agree. I agree, Hayes, where it's shocking to me. And I think it's even more heartbreaking for Bills fans because usually it's been they lose even though Josh was unbelievable.
Right, Mahomes tops them. And you're like, I can't believe it. Bo Nix didn't top him.
Where it was like, now, again, I do think that there's
maybe a flag there, but
yeah, and this is what gets tough about the whole flag game. If I can just get to something.
Well, get to the refs too, because that's a big topic of discussion.
Okay, so
hang on, let me just throw this in here before you get to the refs. I am done with the in-game rules official guy. I'm done with them. I don't want to hear them anymore.
Yeah,
NFL games rule
like
official guys piping up. I don't want to hear it anymore. I've had it with that.
They don't bring a ton to the table,
and they don't
Especially
seem to
if he's
ever.
wrong.
Yes, they don't seem to ever go against the referee.
Never. That's their brotherhood.
Correct. So that's what is a bit tough about it. So I agree with you on that, O-Dog. Where I think the official thing is a bit of a weak argument from yesterday's game is it's like, okay, here's where I'm at on these calls. The first PI on the final drive, I thought was very, very soft. I thought that was very soft. Here you go, okay? What was not soft here, this is soft, 100%.
Well, especially since they didn't call it the other way.
Yes.
Or you could have
Cooks
called
one.
the Cooks one.
But what I didn't love, and this one is legit. I'm sorry, Bills fans. You can yell at me all you want. He is early here. You've got your hams wrapped around his waist. When you see this, look, ball's not there. Early, we're tackling him. Early is a penalty. But if you go back to that first one, What is being lost here?
I love White just giving it to him.
What's being lost is what wasn't even debatable was the roughing the passer on Joey Bosa.
You didn't like that call?
That was 100% a good call.
Yes, I agree with you. I thought you were going the other way.
No.
Because it was gone, and it was like 1, 2, and then he smacked him.
I'm like,
yes.
so again,
Bosa,
there was
100%.
a penalty there.
Yes, you're right. I agree with that.
If we start playing this what was called, what wasn't called, yes, I think Denver then can go, the game should have been over in overtime when there's a hold in the end zone. And they missed that. Josh Allen, they were backed up. A safety would have ended the game. They missed, referees miss games. Mm-hmm. This is what has been a bit annoying for me personally, if I go on this personal thing, is it's like I get branded, 3 years ago, I was branded the anti-Bills guy. And I think I've weaseled my way out of that branding. And now everyone's like,
won. I mean, that's
correct. Now they're like, he's an anti-Bills guy again. You said it. You want to start for me how they lost this game? It starts with the end of the half.
Yes. Careless.
No question.
Careless.
That is the main reason you lost the game. Now you go to the turnovers and the missed throws. Mm-hmm. That's 2 and 3. Okay. Sure. Now 4, we can go into penalties. But penalties work both ways. The idea that this game, when you had the amount of turnovers you did, even what gets lost in this, the Cook fumble early in the game, was such a momentum swing.
Yeah. They were chugging,
rolling,
man. They were.
It's
chugging.
like you guys had a chance to win. You had a chance to go to New England
on
and have that showdown
against a team like Denver.
In Buffalo, at the end of the day, it was Buffalo's fault, not the referees.
Yep.
Think about this: if you had the post-game Reacts podium bingo card, Josh Allen crying and talking about 5 turnovers, come on, who would have had that? No one.
No one.
No one.
And that's what I found so strange about McDermott's press conference when he was like, I'm standing up for Buffalo. And I'm like, something's
up here.
Something's up. My antenna went up right away.
Well, the Dolphins have hired Jeff Hafley, who was the defensive coordinator in Green Bay.
No way, really?
Yeah, Hafley. Hafley's on his way to Miami, so they're going defensively minded.
Yeah,
so they're going to flip, and we'll see. That opens a DC spot in Green Bay. Do you think McDermott gets another job?
Yeah.
I do.
I think he should. I mean, he's had a great run. I get that he's got Allen as his head coach. I said earlier, the Bills were the Jets before the Jets. They hadn't gone to the playoffs in 18 years, and they go every single year.
And he's done a good job. They've won a bunch of games.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the division almost every year, go to the playoffs every year. Yes, Allen's a big part of that.
Yeah.
But I think he deserves another job. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets another one pretty quickly.
Wouldn't shock me either.
Yeah.
The strange one's going to be Stefanski. Stefanski is a guy to me, you could argue that by Cleveland standards, which are not good, he had kind of a good tenure there.
Yeah,
Dude, he had won the Coach of the Year twice.
That's dude.
2-time Coach of the Year.
Where's he going to land?
All right. You want to say anything to
Noodles? Let's just stay humble. Okay, job's not finished.
Yeah.
Job is not finished. We got to just focus in on our pick this week. Let's just nail our pick. Then we go into the Super Bowl. Whatever happens with their pick, they're going to be loud in the chat, a lot of bravado. Doesn't matter. We got to focus in on our pick. That's it.
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
Stay humble. Kersey, you got anything on that?
Kersey. I'm going to honestly kick you in the pills so hard when I see you if you call me Kersey.
How about he was ready to come back to us, Luke.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You were just,
Antonio
you gave
Brown.
Him the polite, you
During
gave
the
him
game.
the polite, no, we're good, thank you.
Yeah.
Which
Took
was
his gear off and started running to the locker room.
The floating bag. That's right. I almost put the floating, there was a balloon that floats. I'm going to put that in there, but you can't.
O-Dog, I am partial to you, man. I feel bad.
We love O-Dog.
We
take
went
it
our
back.
separate way. We would, man. I just wish they used your input, especially in crunch time.
Well, we're going to this week.
But don't worry, I'm going to gut it out. I'm going to gut it out with my new partsies. Okay? But I'm telling you, next year, I got my own super team, and I'm not dealing with any of you.
You're on the
I got
clock.
my own super team, and I know exactly who it's going to be.
You're on the clock this weekend.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Dave tweeting and saying, I agree with Luke and Steve. I'd like to see McDaniels in Buffalo.
Who's Steve Kerr?
So maybe you guys are on to something.
Who tweeted that?
Dave tweeting in. Dave's a man of integrity.
I agree with Luke and Steve.
All right. Good seeing you guys. We'll do it again later in the week.
Can't wait.
Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
All right, Leafs
Noodles
back in action tonight.
Good stuff.
Take on the Wild. We'll tee that game up next.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, something to chew on brought to you by Boston Pizza's NFL Game Day menu. Stop by your local BP for $7 touchdown pints, dialed-in shareables, and weekly prizing up for grabs. Football game days are better at BP, and we've got 2 more weeks of NFL football. We've got this weekend, and obviously an off week, and then the Super Bowl. We're actually going to be down there in San Francisco for a few days doing a few shows. We can't wait to get down there, and we're down to 4 teams. So we kind of know what the combinations might look like. If you guys could pick Seattle, L.A., New England, Denver, what would be your Super Bowl? You could pick any combination. What would you take?
Well, isn't kind of the sexy pick like L.A., New England?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
Even
so.
Seattle, I think with Darnold is a cool story.
Dude, they're going to be tough to beat the way they played, man. And he was a question mark where he wasn't even taking number one snaps in the warm-ups.
And he looked good. He looked really good. I think I'd go Seattle, New England. Like, the fact that New England might get back to a Super Bowl is just absurd.
Yeah, you think about the suffering from some fan bases, and if they get back to another one, like, what was that rebuild, 4 years?
Yeah, he left in 2020. He left. We were doing a show at home. It was COVID, early COVID. I was still upstairs. That's how early it was when Brady broke the news that he was going to Tampa. So 6 years ago, and I saw a stat earlier. Where is it here? I think it's 15th straight year of either the Patriots or Chiefs playing in the AFC Championship game. 15 straight years, either New England or Kansas City, which is crazy.
What would in a perfect world, what would the league want? What's the biggest fan bases out of those last four that draw? You know how we always say, the fan base, like the league would
LA,
lean
New
towards
England.
this.
Probably L.A., Boston. Yeah, L.A., New England. Probably. Did you see that the Bears, shout out to our friend Leanne who sent this to me, and I saw it posted online. The Bears had chicken broth and hot chocolate on the sideline with a canister of mini marshmallows just to, if the boys wanted to warm up during the
s'mores fire, or what are they doing there?
Yeah.
Like, was it that? I mean, the weather did look.
It was freezing, but I
greasy.
haven't seen hot chocolate on a sideline before in the NFL.
You really think you need the marshmallows too? You guaranteed there's some 350-pound linemen in there just mowing
Just
down
burying the marshmallows.
Exactly.
Handful of marshmallows as he's running out on the field.
Exactly.
Love it, though.
It's kind of a creative play. I wouldn't expect it, but I guess it was a creative play. All right, so the Leafs start a homestand here. Minnesota tonight, Detroit Wednesday, Vegas Friday, Colorado Sunday, Buffalo Tuesday. How many points do you think they need to consider this a successful homestand?
Would you just rip off 5 games?
5 games.
7. Sorry, you got to be 700. Like, you've got to get to this is crunch time. I just talked about the road being 500. They just got above 500 in Winnipeg, and they found a way to get it done, coming back down from 2 goals. You've got to be your home record, which is one of the best in the league, and you've got to keep it that way if your road record is not one of the best in the league, and it's not. So I'm sorry, but right now, based on what's in front of you, all these teams have got a few interdivision games. 7 out of 10 points.
Yeah, I think you're right, Noodles.
I think it six is probably realistic. 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could get 7 points out of their next 10, that puts you into at least you're going to continue to keep pace with everybody else, whether you're 1 point in, 1 point out, because that's what they're doing right now. And you got to find a way to be in that mix come Olympic break, come down the stretch, all of that. Again, strength of schedule, we did it last night on our broadcast. Like, Ottawa and Detroit have a very tough schedule down the stretch. But it's because they're playing Atlantic Division teams. Like, and the Atlantic Division is very tough. The Leafs have had, up until this last road trip, a muffin schedule. Now, this last road trip was tough. They found a way to get 5 out of 8. This homestand, again, they've played some of the most home games in the league. You're adding another 5 here.
Yeah.
You've got to get 7 out of 10.
And they've been great at home. I would
minimum
agree.
guys, that's the bare minimum for them to stay afloat.
Man.
Yeah, if they want to even stay afloat, that's the bare minimum. 7 out of 10.
Hey, I know I'm getting wordy here, but Hayes, you talked about they're still going back out west a couple more times. Like, they've got to go. The road is a massive challenge, and they played, I believe, some of the least amount of road games in the league.
That's right. Yeah, they've played. What have they played here? 19, 22 road games. So they still have 19 road games.
Yes.
So that's needless to say, that's a lot. And they've been very good at home. They're 16-5-5 at home. So you got to keep that going. I would agree it's 7. I would say if it's 6, it's imperative you beat Detroit and Buffalo. Ideally in regulation.
Interdivision.
Those are. I would actually take that 6 with 2 wins against Detroit and Buffalo in reg. I'd take it, because the other 3 are giants of the West. Minnesota, Colorado, Vegas. Vegas has added Rasmus Anderson, so he'll be in town, right? He'll be here, obviously. He'll join them probably in
Vegas
Boston.
Plays the night before. So
in
you are
Boston
getting
the
a little
bit
bit like you are catching teams potentially that in a back-to-back situation where you've got to make that hay there. And I know Mitch Marner story, all of that type of stuff, but bottom line is I still say it, 7 out of 10. Now you got Minnesota, a team that's a little banged up right now. You got to beat them on home ice. You have to.
Yeah, exactly. And Willie's out. Nye's a game-time decision, but Woll is playing tonight. We'll see when Stolarz makes a return. But it was a good road trip for the Leafs, and credit their captain because he is chugging right now. Like he is really playing well. I thought he had a great trip. I thought he really and obviously on Saturday night, he scores a goal. He sets up the OT winner. Where Hellebuck's got to think this guy's shooting. On a 2-on-1, you've kind of got to. I speak to you, Noodles, but I think he
Max Domi over there too. I mean, that's what you're looking at. Like
exactly.
One guy's a 60 goal scorer, and the other guy's a 20
like
goal
a
scorer,
10
right?
goal scorer,
10 to 15, 20.
But that cage was wide open for Max. Like he made him bite on it, and
Hellebuck reached with his stick. He didn't even move. Watch Hellebuck reach with his stick.
Yeah, that's
just a great goal right there.
The great play. And I thought like Matthews' goal in Reg was like an example of
him shooting it.
Well, a goal scorer's goal. Like you come down Broadway, you kind of read where Hellebuck's going to be, and he did that with no pulse, like low blocker.
Dude, that's what he does, man. If he just winds it up and curls and drags it, and he just rips it by goalies.
Yes, exactly. And my point is, like a fourth-line guy just maybe one times this and just rips it and says, I got to get rid of this thing, or misses the net, or tries to deke and gets, run over by Morrissey or whoever it is.
Yeah.
Where
That's the one fascinating thing about his goal scoring, Brian. It's like, some of the quick shot guys, like Brendan Shannon had one of the best quick release kind of wrist shots ever. Like it was just on his stick, off his stick. Matthews has the patience to kind of corral it a bit and then pick a spot and then roof it. I think he's known for his release, but it's not exactly like his quick release. Like he just took his time there and said, I'm just going to find my spot and absolutely wire this. And it's impressive to watch.
And it's funny watching that game. It's weird to say. I don't think Winnipeg's out of the playoff mix. I know it's a stretch to say, and if you take a look at the standings, but all because of the quality of competition in front of them and who they have to jump.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, because Chicago, I'm not a believer yet. St. Louis, I think, is going to wave the white flag. Calgary's going to, is
Vancouver's
trading.
miserable.
Nashville, I think you're looking at L.A., Anaheim, San Jose, Utah in there. And Seattle is tied with San Jose for points in that Pacific. In Winnipeg, I believe
7 points out, Noodles. That's a long haul.
It's a lot, but they had won 3 in a row leading into that. They got a point against the Leafs. Again, It could be a stretch, but I'd keep an eye on them. I just they are a team that I look at the teams in front of them. That's what the bottom line is.
And I understand that. That's why I appreciate San Jose being like, we've gone through this, and Sherwood, 2 seconds in a prospect, it's a lot. Sherwood's a good player, but he's got no term on his deal. Maybe they try to re-sign him. I would guess that's their plan.
Yeah.
But San Jose is thinking we got 35 games left. We're right there. Let's try to salvage this. Let's try to get in. And it's worth a lot. If you can get in, sure, you're going to likely play Colorado and get pumped, but at least you're in, and you're alive, and you feel like you've made a big step. And, at some point when you've accumulated all these picks and prospects, you got to start thinking about the actual team and the games and living in the moment.
That's why I think a team like Utah is going to be – I think Utah should be active.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's a team that's turned the corner. Like, that's the interesting part, watching the Detroits, watching the Buffaloes, we watched Ottawa make it last year. Some of these teams that had retooled now are more mature.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what their managers do at the deadline here. And now you're starting to see the other way, some trades happening – where, I watched that St. Louis team last night, and, it's an interesting thing. 2 things I got out of that game last night. Zach Hyman has 19 goals in 31 games.
Dude, he's on fire.
Is he your replacement for Braden Point?
I was just going to say, if it's situational, I would at least sniff on his name. Sniff.
I agree with you.
I thought he was going to be sniffing on the original roster, just the way he was playing and McDavid is playing.
Well,
Hayes, you mentioned Detroit. It's going to be interesting to see their deadline because last year, wasn't that the year that Larkin was like critical of their Stevie Y? Like he was like, wow, we were looking for a little bit more.
Right,
so that'll be interesting if maybe they've done enough for them to actually say, and I do believe in that roster more than years before, but guys, I don't want to jinx them, and I really hope it doesn't happen, but they've been in comfortable positions before and gone on some serious spins, man.
Big time.
Sure.
Big time. Like between them and Buffalo, you're like, are you guys really going to do it?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to hold on here?
They're like anything else, man. It's hard to trust. It's hard to trust until they actually pull it off. But they look like they're capable of doing it.
Definitely.
Well, they're good teams. They're good teams, but you have to – it's like anything. Watching them, you got to prove it. You can't just go, that's money in the bank. They've got to prove it.
Total. It's a crazy division, the Atlantic. Like, you look at the Pacific, Vegas and Edmonton are just going to cruise home. Like, just not – no one's going to contest them. They're going to fight with each other, likely for home ice. You know, who's going to win the division and who's not. But Seattle, San Jose, Anaheim's completely fallen off. Like, they've won a few lately, but they went through the East Coast and got pumped. And L.A. is a disaster. Like, I don't know what's gone on with them, but they're not a trustworthy team. Like, Edmonton and Vegas are, you know, Edmonton's 25-17-8, 7 points up on Seattle. Vegas 24-11-12. 9 points up on Seattle. Seattle's in third in the division.
All three of those teams, though, Brian, it's Seattle, San Jose, Anaheim, and L.A. all have 51 points.
Right, and someone's getting that third seed.
Somebody's getting the third seed. That's why I say that third seed and the 2 wild card spots are kind of weak.
Yes.
So if somebody can go on a run there, again, that's why I brought up the Winnipeg. You can put yourself into that wild card situation because of Nashville, because of Calgary, because of St. Louis, because of Chicago. You know, those teams, what are they going to do? Are they going to start to be sellers?
Very true.
Right?
Very true. Did you see that play my guy McDavid made last night?
Oh, my God.
To spin-a-rama
on the Podkolzin goal?
My guy.
Your guy.
I love him. No one better. Man, he's good.
Oh, you know what? I got to give a shout-out to RNH Nuge. 1,000 game last night. And there was a time where I was like, I think it was when he signed his last contract, and I said to myself, why do they, they hadn't had success. They just kept sputtering out, and they were terrible. First overall. I'm like, why does RNH need to be a part of this moving forward? Because he's been a part of so much losing. But that guy's a hell of a player. And he's really important to their team, and he plays a big role. And he's turned himself into a hell of an NHL player. So
great
congrats
pick, man.
to him. Yeah.
Great pick. Like first, yes, not McDavid, but not Yakupov. Just a really good first overall pick.
Really good player.
1,000 games. Like he probably plays 1,500 games in the league. You know, probably play till he's 40 and just keep plugging along.
The way he thinks the game. He plays. Strutty always talks about it. He plays in fourth gear. He doesn't play a million miles an hour. He just goes. He knows where to go on the ice. And, of course, he scores the first goal of the game yesterday. Nice
exactly.
Shot, too.
And I'll take a guy in fourth gear that knows what the hell he's doing over a fifth gear no-brain player.
Yes. Million miles an hour. Million mile wheels, 10-cent hands.
Yep.
He doesn't have that.
10-cent heads sometimes, too, unfortunately.
10-cent head. But he's smart, man.
Yep.
Good player.
All right,
Leafs. Kersey doesn't like that, I'll tell you that.
He shouldn't.
Tell that guy. I want the guy's Twitter handle that's called me Steve in the tweet.
Steve. It's not even Kersey. It's just Steve.
I agree with Brian and Steve.
Kerr. Hey, listen,
That's
Steve
awesome.
had a great second career as well, right? Kerr's, he's an important part of the sports landscape right now.
He's great.
He's
great.
Best bets coming up. Leafs Wild tonight. The college championship as well. We'll touch on that. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Rookie. All new Tuesday on CTV. Stream next day on Crave. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Parlay the Leafs and the Hoosiers tonight. Ooh. Indiana Hoosiers.
They're big favorites, aren't they?
Crushing teams all year. Crushing, man.
I love seeing that, man. I love seeing some different blood in there.
Yeah.
Instead of the usual suspect. I know they're powerhouses. Mm-hmm. I love seeing a team like that in there.
Absolutely. It's totally off the beaten path. Like they're a basketball school. They always have been.
Yep.
And old Bobby Knight, remember him snapping all the time and throwing chairs? He'd lose his mind all the time.
That wouldn't go over in today's world, what he used to do.
No, he used to lose it, man. He'd grab people, and he was
swearing at people, yelling in their face. He was a bully.
Yes, precisely that. Totally different era. Yeah. But, they got a great coach, great quarterback, Heisman winner, likely to go first overall. And I'm on the Hoosiers, and I think the Leafs, it's going to be a tough game. Minnesota's a really good team. Really, really good team. But like you've been saying, Noodles, you're catching them maybe, tough trip, injuries.
Yep.
We'll see. Sleepy Monday night.
Good.
Yeah, the goalies are really good. Both of them made Sweden. Yeah. Like, when was the last time a tandem made the same team internationally? That's crazy. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same-game parlays around the NHL are available on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 18+, physically located in Ontario. All right. There you go. We'll see if the Bills hire a coach between now and tomorrow. What other hirings could happen around the NFL. And we'll have a full breakdown of the Leaf game and Raptors on the West Coast losing to the Lakers last night. LeBron still going. Lots to get into this week. We're looking forward to it. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and up on YouTube Live. Every show streaming live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
Mike McDaniel. Welcome to Buffalo. From Steve. 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.